of the course policies for MME 305. So if you need to communicate with your instructor, please email our instructor. I would say your instructor, we typically should be able to get back to you within about a day. Here are the major textbook that we're planning to use is this Measurements and Instrumentation Theory and Application book by Morris and Langari. Um, there, your instructor may occasionally ask you to read passages from other textbooks. Um, in that case, typically we're going to provide a PDF file for you or a link for you to get it. Um, Typically, you're going to have a learning objective. So you're going to have a weekly handout each week. That's going to be posted on the Canvas site. It'll also be printed out and given to you. In that handout, there's going to be learning objectives, reading information, information on when your tests are. Basically, everything that you need in the class is within the weekly handout. Okay, so you'll get I'd recommend that you buy like a 1.5 or 2 inch binder to kind of store all these handouts. It's just nice to have those physical copies for you to reference. That way you don't have to try to manage everything on just a laptop screen. So most of the time during the week, you're going to have on Monday, typically in class, we're going to introduce a new topic. And then at the end of the class, you'll typically get to work with your lab group on your pre-laboratory assignment. On Wednesday, typically you're going to have to submit that pre-lab assignment as well as submit the laboratory deliverables for last week. Okay. On Thursday, you'll do your lab activity. So you'll come to lab, you'll complete the activity, and you'll get started working on your lab deliverables. And then kind of over the weekend, what we expect you to do is to do some practice problems, complete some short pre-class readings, and short answers. So those are typically due on Sunday night. Okay. So for how you'll be evaluating this course, is that there's 5 major categories: lab assignments, course project, quizzes, pre-class and pre-lab assignments, and side projects. Okay. As you can see, the total amount of points that are available are around 10,060. All right. Most of the course is going to be lab assignments and your course project. Which are group based, and then the quizzes most of the time are going to be individual quizzes. And then you have some pre-class and pre-lab assignments as well as some side projects for you to complete. Okay. The goal of the course grade is a little different. It's not based off of a percentage of these points. It's based off of the total accumulated points. Okay. So the idea in the course is that you want to try to attempt all the assignments that you can, because in every assignment you can earn points. All right, so the goal of the class is for you to get as many points as you can. If you get over 924, you'll get an A, and then this table defines sort of the ranges of the different, depending on how many points you get, how many points you earn. One way you can think about it is every point is worth a 1/10 of a percentage point on your final grade. So if you got 10 points on an assignment, that would be like increasing your grade by 1% on the final course. Okay. Right. So in terms of getting feedback, we typically try to give you feedback, either your instructor or your TA. So typically the certain assignments are going to be weighted more or less depending on the amount of work involved. And we'll try to give you both formative feedback and additional, summative feedback on larger assignments so you can improve throughout the semester. All right. Again, pre-class assignments, try to complete them before attending class. It's going to be on Sunday night for every section. All right. You're going to submit it on Canvas. All right. Your pre-laboratory assignment, typically work with your group mate on it. First week, you're not going to use it. You're going to do it individually, but typically afterwards, it's going to be a group assignment. That's typically going to be due on Wednesday night. All right, and then the last type of assignment I want to kind of mention is side projects. All right, so these are basically small assignments that kind of help you teach supplementary skills. All right, you're not required to submit to complete the project. I guess in theory, you don't have to do any assignment in the class if you don't want to. It's just going to harm your grade. But the side projects are intended to be kind of an optional thing uh, to be interested. All right, these are mostly going to be graded on a pass-fail basis, most often by the course TAs. Okay. And then, so typically you'll get like a little trophy when you complete get a certain amount of points over the course of the semester. So, so typically the person who earns the most side bottom bucks earns their face on the $20 bill for next semester. So this is an example of a student who won it last fall, and they got their face on the $20 buck for the following semester. So a little bit of bragging rights involved in getting your face on the uh, on the sidebar. Okay.